Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, wherever you're watching this from. My name is Zenzi Sewa, and this podcast today is to introduce a very, very unusual and knowledgeable man called Mohammed Es Fye. And when I say unusual and knowledgeable, from this podcast, you're going to hear how he connected to his spirituality and how he actually connected to the universe later on, and it's so fascinating. So I hope you get a lot from this, and it probably ended up in 2 podcasts because he is so knowledgeable. He is a business owner. He has a company called Artilla, which is an automation software company which helps people who are on the internet or got programs and doing business. There are certain things that are very repetitive, and the products he provides are things that can overcome that repetitiveness. But he'll tell you more of that, as I'm not very much a technical person. But also to say he is bringing out a book in September, and it's called Silicone Awakening. And at the end of this podcast, I'll ask him just to give just an overview of that book, which I'm looking forward to reading. So for now, let me introduce Mohammed Es Fye.
Hello, Zanzi. Thank you very much to have me in your show and podcast and share a bit of time and space together.
Thank you for taking the time to do this. So, Mohammed, as I say, my podcasts are about people connecting with their spirituality, because in this time of our world, in this time that we're living, people are awakening. They're going through difficult times, and sometimes it's because there are things trying to connect with them to help them through their situations and challenges, and they don't understand what's going on. And I want people to be aware there is nothing that we cannot overcome, but somehow we've been disconnected from our source and we need to reconnect. And in this place, you have connected. And I'd like you to talk about your journey, because I'm sure there are people who can say, that's what I'm going through. And it's about us sharing our knowledge to help one another. So, Mohammed, how did you first connect with your spirituality?
Yes, I would say every answer that I give to the same question will be a little bit different.
Yes.
Because these things are almost like dynamic.
Yes.
So I'll try to stay on the same course, but I would say that it happened in 2 stages.
Yes.
There was a stage that from an early age, I was noticing the glitches in the matrix, as some people would call it. I was noticing some unusual phenomena that somehow I knew that either other people did not believe it, did not see it, or did not want to account for it. They dismiss it. They dismiss certain things that I was seeing or experimenting. So that developed in me a sense of curiosity, or a higher sense of curiosity, and a thirst for finding the truth, and if possible, the ultimate truth, my ultimate truth, and not the truth of someone else that had another experience. Sorry, I think I have some hair from my daughter or something. So I would question, as a kid, I would question everything in life. My fears. If someone says there is a ghost in the attic, let's hide, I say no, let's go see the ghost. So I would go and open the doors and open the cabinets and find nothing.
Let me stop you there, because you said you started from an early age, and for you to say, let's see the ghost, I'm thinking you're brave. So when you say an early age, what age did this begin?
So this is, as much as I can remember, I think it would be around 4 to 5 years old, when I was able to speak. As soon as I was able to speak and form and realize my own thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and even then you were brave. even then you were brave enough to want to go ahead and see things for yourself.
Yes, because it's not really, it's not bravery, but let's say it was, I developed a fearlessness state, because I knew that nothing is bad or good. There's just nothing, no such things.
Okay.
So for me, it was just, what is behind it? What creates that fear?
Yes.
So, and I was not going into like a physical fighting mode, but it was more, if that thing exists, I want to see it and interact with it and see what is behind that thing, whatever it is,
and
animal,
to understand it better.
And to understand it better, and confront it, not in a violence-oriented way, but confront it as an existence.
Yes.
Yeah, by presence. So
yes.
I'm trying to find the right word. Yeah, like I would go and try to be in a presence with whatever scares me.
And I would say, therefore, what you're saying is that from that early age, you were so inquisitive, you were fearless, and that you quite rightly, because we all tend to think of things in a negative way, but you realized from a very young age that fear, false evidence appearing real, you just wanted to see what it was and go beyond and understand it.
That's right. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you pinpointed the right word, inquisitiveness. How do you say?
Inquisitiveness. Yes,
inquisitive. Yes. I think that's what entertained and kept my connection as a child with the realms, with the rest of the universe.
Yes.
And beyond. It was that inquisitive mind of saying, where are you, the truth?
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you, the source? What is behind this wall, and what is behind the next wall and the next wall? And I want to dig my little hole through everyone to reach there and see. That was really what drove, I think, my curiosity and my sense of seeking knowledge.
Yes.
So every time I had an opportunity to verify something, I would take it. And the environment was also just right. It was how you call it? It was not allowing phenomena. How you call it? It was not allowing abnormal phenomena
and anomalies.
And anomalies, yeah. So like I grew up in two frameworks.
Yes.
Now I can call them frameworks. So I'm born and grew up in the south of France, which at that time was much more Catholic than now.
Yes.
Yeah. And then my family we are from Morocco, and it's also very Muslim. So it's Muslim with a Sufi background, a North African touch of Islam with a heavy Sufi influence. But then in France, the way that Islam was practiced was more just like the Catholic faith. It was more about how you appear as that follower of that faith, rather than how you cleanse and you travel inwards to connect to God.
Okay.
So that's how. So both of these cultures, they did not allow for what cannot be. They didn't clash. They agreed, actually. The two religions, they agreed. They agreed that what you see is what you get.
Okay.
In a way, in the way that it was practiced.
Yes.
It is what you see is what you get. If you can touch it, then it's there. If you cannot touch it, then it's not there. What you see is what is real.
Okay, can I just stop you there, because you said you're a Muslim with a Sufi influence. Now I understand Sufism is the spiritual side.
Yes.
Am I correct? So for those who do not understand, this is why I said, I thought it clashed, because in the Muslim way, Sufism is the spiritual part of that Muslim faith. And then you've got Catholicism, which is very much looking outwards and at that power, where Sufism is really within, and the power within and the universe.
That's right. So both faiths, they come from the same. It's the same, actually. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism is the same.
Yes.
Both of them have their spiritual and mystic traditions. They have their mystical traditions. But the people that I grew up with,
Mhm.
they were not inclined on the spiritual side of it too
Right.
much.
Okay.
For example, my family in France, they were not really connecting to the Sufi side of Islam. And
Okay.
my friends and my teachers and the people I grew up with France, they were also not so much connected to the Christian mysticism
Oh,
side. Yeah. So I would only experience Sufism when we go back to Morocco every summer, because one of my uncles was very much into that, into Sufism.
mhm.
So I could experience and see what they were doing and how they were chanting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but I knew that religion had, it was like a spectrum. People could practice it in so many different ways.
Okay.
Some they go like to the extreme of just rituals.
Yes.
Therefore, if I go to the church and I take
Yeah,
the thing
the
on,
Catholics and the bread, the wine,
yeah,
the body of
yeah,
yes.
or because I do my in the water,
Yes.
the blessing with the water.
In the
So
water. In the water.
yeah, so the same in Islam, in the culture, let's say, not so much the religion. They crystallize on those rituals.
Yes.
That's my feeling, or how I understood it. And
Yes.
then the ritual become more important than the spiritual learning. Yeah.
Yes.
And then you define your religion from the observance of rules,
Yes.
rather than from
Within.
the exercise of within, and
Yes.
connecting directly to the maker of the universe.
That's right.
Although in the text it says there is a maker of the universe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's how I grew up, and it created like a pressure that forbids certain things to be talked about, or
yeah.
even to be shared.
So as you said earlier, that the way you grew up and with these two religions, it in fact helped you or made you reject because of the way you were feeling. And I suppose it was the part of the catalyst to encourage you to look within and connect without.
Exactly.
Because you weren't feeling what they were saying.
No, and also they were not allowing me to even express other phenomena that
That's
they
right.
didn't experience or that they could not relate
Yes.
to. And then on top of that, there was the education,
Yeah.
which is another level also of dualism and stuff. So the education I grew up is very much Cartesian, so Descartes.
Yes.
I think, therefore I am. And it didn't work with my brain.
In what way? How did it affect you?
No, it didn't work. It didn't. I couldn't relate to it, so I couldn't understand it, mentally speaking.
Okay.
But then I already felt that that's self-deception, because if you think you exist because you can think, you have to think again. In my head.
Yes.
Because that's not just it.
Okay. You didn't
Yeah.
accept what they were telling you, and not that you didn't accept it, but as you said, you were always asking more questions and wanting to go beyond and wanting to look deeper, and the education system wasn't allowing you, didn't accept that.
That's right. So, and I'm saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying that's the context.
Yes, the
Because
way you're feeling.
you also benefit from these contexts. When things are regulated and classified, it provides predictability in your life or in your universe.
Yes.
It creates a form of predictability and comfort. And I think the human doesn't like to have one part in their mind that they don't understand or that they don't know. So I think we tend to create some models, and then we interact with that model instead of interacting with the universe, which we can't comprehend fully.
So what you're saying is that generally we like to stay in our own little boxes where we're compartmentalized, and we stay in that and don't go beyond, although there are those of us who do, and when we do, we're sometimes looked upon as being different or weird or whatever.
Even heretic.
How were you perceived at school with the way you were thinking?
So the way I was thinking was not really, I think it was not really expressing in school. But I had at an early age, I felt because we were the latest and the newest. Sorry, I don't know if you hear the thunder. We were the newest immigration wave in the south of France, North Africans.
Okay.
So at that time, I experienced a bit of rejection from kids to kids,
Okay.
a bit of racism.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was not so much touched by it, like I was telling you yesterday, because I knew that there was a buffer zone between me, my being, my body, the Mohammed. But I already knew that there was like a second level to it. So what if you insult me or you beat me up or something? It was like you're attacking my avatar.
That's right. You were saying yesterday you saw it as being an avatar, and you were apart from that.
Yeah. So they were punching into a buffer zone, and then I could like step back and not be hurt. And also I knew somehow that the same person is going to change. Maybe today they tell me something bad, but maybe tomorrow we're going to be friends.
Okay.
And which happened actually. Almost all the people who in our young age, because it was a small village, gave me some racist slur or criticized my skin color or something. Eventually we were friends.
Okay.
In our team. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that although you saw yourself as an avatar standing away, and you felt whatever they were doing to you, it wasn't directly to you, it was to your avatar, but you also recognized that they too had an avatar, and that's why you say they would change, because as we were talking before, you were saying about your essence, you saw it as being your true essence was a part.
Yes.
Looking at the avatar, and the other person's true essence was a part, and their avatar was interacting.
Exactly. It was our two avatars that were having a bit of an electric shock.
Yes.
But I knew that there was no such thing as animosity, a universal animosity. So, but I couldn't explain it. So I was like I was just passive. I was passive to the bullying, and I was passive to insults, or I would just not. I don't react, basically, which puzzles them.
And what age was this? Was this when you were 9?
This started, when we go out of école maternelle in French. So like when you go out of kindergarten and then you go to the first class where you start the courses on read and write.
Yes.
So we call that CP in French.
Yeah, 5, 6,
yeah.
7.
That's 5, 6, maybe 6. So that's where I started to feel that racism and rejection
from a very young age. Okay.
Yeah, and their parents, they were getting this from their parents.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So as you got older, probably as a teenager, what happened then?
Yeah, so when I was a kid and I was experiencing sometimes some glitches in the matrix, like so first, I think the first one happened when I was about between 4 and 5 years old, where I started to question gravity. And I didn't know the name of gravity. I didn't know it had a name.
Yeah.
But I started to question the sense of heaviness and going on the floor.
Okay.
At my level of understanding, because where I'm born, it's like an energy point on Earth.
Okay. Yes. I understand that.
There was an energy source there.
Yes.
On top of there was a big church, a big cathedral that was built from 1,200 years ago.
Okay.
One of the oldest. Yeah, and it was built on top of I think a Roman temple, which was built on top of a Gaelic Gaulois temple, which was built on another civilization temple.
So at different times in history, there were religious PowerPoints. Well, I say PowerPoints, but religious buildings which attracted that energy. So although it changed,
different religions have built something on top of that place
and drawing that energy.
And drawing, maybe they were attracted, and then they used their religion to frame it and to take advantage of it to connect.
Okay.
So, do you hear? There's a big thunder.
We can't hear it from this side.
Okay, the universe is trying to speak as well. So yes, I wanted to say my first experience was contesting or asking question about gravity,
Okay.
because I would go into the cave of our house, and it was built. Our houses were built on the remains of a Roman amphitheater.
Okay.
So when I go into the cave of our house, there were those amphitheater big stairs,
Okay.
portions of it. Yeah, and then
And
when
this,
I would carry. Sorry.
this is in France.
This is in France. This is in south of
Okay.
France, which was very Roman.
Okay.
There is a huge Roman influence. Um, so when I go down to one time, I go down to take my little bicycle to go out to play, or a wheel. Sorry, I was carrying a wheel of my bicycle, and when I go into, there was a point near the stairs where when I go, the wheel kind of levitates.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not like levitates and it stays in the
No.
air.
You felt it
But
lighter.
yeah, it was lighter, and then I was trying to play with it like this, like
Bouncing it.
yeah, bouncing it and seeing. Yeah, and then my brain started to say, this is not normal. This is spooky. This is not normal. And then as soon as I start to try to process it mentally, then the wheel became heavy again, and like I was drawn, like even more heavy than its normal weight.
Okay.
Like a form of recalibration.
So you felt at that age, through your thinking, it could create, or you found that it created that if you changed and thought in a different way, it changed the situation you were in.
There was an interaction, and my consciousness was part of that interaction. So when my mind entertained that this can actually float, who says it cannot float,
Yes.
So it floated. And as soon as I started to doubt that, no, this cannot float, then it became heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I understood there was something happening between our mind and the cosmos, or the rules of the cosmos. Yeah. And then when I try with my brothers and sisters and my family, and I say, does it happen to you when you carry something and then sometimes you will lose the weight? I trying to explain.
Yes.
They say, no, there's no such things of losing the weight.
It is as it is.
It is that it is. So these little things is what I started.
You've frozen. You've frozen.
Yeah, sorry, my connection went down, and I realized I speak too long about one phenomenon, but it was the first one.
Yes.
So for me, that experience was the first one that created in my mind the curiosity of questioning anything in life.
Okay.
Yeah. Fine. And then I went on and I grew up, and then the next one that also kind of taught me a lesson is what you were referring to. Is I was talking to my sister, which was like she was 3 or 4 and I was maybe 12 or 15.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember how many age we have in difference, but I was still a teenager. And as I was talking to her about a subject that was about careers, about like what you want to be when you grow up, things like that. Yes. And I was expecting some kids' answers. So, and then my sister said, quand j'étais grande, when I was grown up, when I was an adult, I used to be a sort of a teacher, and she talked about a discipline that actually I don't know. It's some sort of discipline in some sort of education system. But then I knew that this is not kids' knowledge, because she said I was a teacher of something, this thing, something like a scientific thing.
So what she was saying to you, she was recording a past life. Because if I'm correct, you just said she said to you when I was grown up. So she was actually still connecting to a previous life, which we know.
Yes.
So how old was your sister at this time? You said
You know,
about
just she was just it was just barely speaking. You know, when the kids speak and they start to tell stories.
So this
maybe
about
maybe between 3 and 4.
4. Yes, this has been recorded in the past that young children do start to remember previous situations and even their family, and we don't listen. And we then
so
off and they become frustrated. So you experienced this with your sister.
I experienced that. Yeah. So, and because I really love my sister, so I listened to her, you know, genuinely, I listened to everything she would say as a kid. So I really started to, unfortunately, I didn't let her speak long enough to get more information. I was too curious. Wait. When you were grown up, when you were adult, and then she did like this, you know, like some sort of glitch in her eyes, and something happened in the back of her brain, shifted. And then she said, "What?"
So
she became
for that short time, she connected and remembered, and then it was gone.
When I questioned it, because I think this is how I analyze it now. I impacted it because I threw doubt on it.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Which
so
you do, unfortunately.
Yeah. So as soon as I projected doubt, it severed the connection.
Yeah.
But I had just enough time to understand that she was drawing knowledge from somewhere else. That for now I cannot comprehend, but I knew that she was connected to some sort of internet, or you know, some sort
kind of energy,
knowledge, energy, some field,
energy force.
So these things, as they were happening, and I couldn't forget them. There are many things that happened, and I forget them.
Okay.
But some of them I could not forget them, and then they will still stay in my mind, reminding me, Mohammed, these things happen, these things happen, these things happen. So that was the first phase where I entertained the connection by just accepting that these phenomena can happen.
Right. Okay.
With zero understanding, no benchmark, no spirituality, just a physical phenomena that belonged, or that had a connection to another realm. And then as I grew up and I was trying to make sense of all of this, I tried to acquire every knowledge, religious knowledge, scientific knowledge, philosophical knowledge, social knowledge. I wanted to rebuild my own understanding of the universe and my own model that could explain these things. And then this led me to the late teens. I tried to draw the fourth dimension once I had enough scientific knowledge. Yeah.
Once you had enough, all right.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, I know you're there. I know you're hiding. I know you're not far.
Yes.
You're very near, but untouchable and unreachable. But I know it's not far.
Okay.
So I tried to draw, and I think actually at that time I drew it, but I couldn't consciously see it. So I drew like a small map with the 3 direction, X, Y, Z. And then I did a bold point in the middle. That was actually the gateway to the 4th dimension. Later on, I realized. But when I drew it, I couldn't realize it, and I was trying to look at the 4th dimension as an extension of the 3 dimensions. Yeah.
And because that dot was the points coming together.
Yeah.
All
so
points into something.
Yeah, but I was inquiring. I was like, where are you? Where is it? Where is the door? Open sesame.
Yes.
I knew there was a door. And then I couldn't consciously find it. And I continued doing my things. And then I went to university. And when I went to university, I was also still, I had early access to internet. So it was the beginning of internet. Yeah. So then I acquired another batch of knowledge before my colleagues and my family. Then I kind of re-upgraded my knowledge with new sources, and especially sources from the Anglophone, from the English world.
Yes.
There is so much more content in English than in French on internet, even especially at that time.
Yes.
Content was created in English. So more people were expressing their knowledge and stuff. So I gathered a lot of interesting knowledge, and then somehow I drowned of knowledge, too much knowledge that became a weight and useless.
Okay. How did this affect you?
Because I will just read whatever is available, but then I make no practical use of it.
Okay.
But then it takes memory in my brain. Plus I was studying. So there came a point where I sort of saturated brain-wise, memory-wise.
Okay.
And when I started to saturate, and I started to slow down my spiritual inquiry, my pin poking of the universe.
Yes.
Then somehow, this is now my analysis, but somehow the universe reacted to that. And I had a very tough 2 years.
Oh, what happened? You say you had a very tough 2 years.
So it's not tough in actual physicality, but it was very challenging to the core of my being.
Okay.
So when I started to slow down my thirst and inquiry, yet I had knowledge and I had some sort of understanding, then there was a manifestation which at that time nobody wrote about it. When I googled it and there was no Google at that time. There was Alta Vista and some all search engines. But blue sphere, a blue orb, like you said, blue whitish, pale, like kind of when you look at Earth from afar in space, but without the continents, with the clouds, with white clouds, bluish white, but no continents. So that small, like this, like a golf, between a golf ball and a tennis ball. So that sphere appeared in front of me, like a meter away.
Okay.
And started hovering with a deep sound, with the deep vibration that you can feel in your on your skin.
Okay.
Those vibrating sounds.
Yes.
So I could feel my skin, my bones, and my heart, and everything was, like vibrating, because that sphere was making the whole universe vibrate.
Okay.
Like it was shaking everything. So my curiosity that I developed since a young age, I said, hey, you're back, as a phenomenon.
What curiosity came back?
Curiosity back. Say, hey, what is this? Let's book it, because this is not possible. I knew that it was not possible scientifically at that time in my mind. So when I poked it with my finger, that's where I call it the violent awakening. That's where it swallowed me. Somehow. So the sphere started to create a point of depression.
Okay.
Like a black hole.
Like a black hole.
Yeah, like a black hole. And the black hole took the whole physical universe. And then it dived into me.
Okay.
Yeah, it digged the hole in me, in my being. And then it took my physical body and my energy, whatever that. It just swallowed everything. It just swallowed everything in 360-degree spherical way into one single point. We all compressed like this, and then it's like we all went through a tunnel. Not a physical tunnel, but
no, it was a spiritual, because of that black hole. Emptiness, just
it was emptiness, and then there was a form of suction, like a whirlpool, and it goes
through. Like a whirlpool.
Like a whirlpool, and then there was this fast suction. There was a fast force in a small space. Because everything was fitting in a dot.
Like a pin,
Like a pin, And then there was this. We were all sucked in somehow, somewhere, nowhere. All the atoms, everything, all the beings, and then after a while of this fast thing, then we pop out at the extremities of the universe.
Explosion, like an explosion?
Not explosion, like a dive in, but the inside is the outside.
Okay.
So that's hard for us to understand in the 3-dimensional world, because we don't have that dimension. But I discovered that there is the 4th dimension that I was looking for. Is the one that dive inside.
Okay.
So you don't go left, right, up, down. You go inwards.
Within you.
So when you go inwards, then I realized that when you go inwards, you end up outwards in the physical world.
It's from what you're saying, it's like some of these films we see. It's like
Yes.
where you go through this ring and you go in, but then you end up somewhere else.
So that's exactly the
And it
science fiction
throws
movies.
you, and you find yourself not exploding, but just find yourself in another dimension, but all over.
Yes. Yes. But in a different way. It's not my body moving into another dimension.
No.
It's my
You became
me,
it.
you became it. Me and my surrounding, my physical surrounding and reality.
Yes.
We melted. We dissolved. Is it English? Dissolved.
Yes. You not dissolved. Yes, but you melted together. You fused together.
We fused together.
Yes.
And then once we became one, everything became one.
Yes.
After everything became one, everything became everything.
And everything just came out.
Yes.
And
so that
it's like recreate. Would you say like recreating yourself? Or it was not you?
I don't know. No. It was. I'll try to explain it from an atomic perspective.
Yes.
There's a different way to explain it. So it's like it took millions of years, maybe billions of years,
yes,
for the atoms that compose my body to come together here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
But it's like every single atom of my body has its origin in some corner of
else. Because I can feel it. I can kind of understand it. It's explained. It's like you became one and you became everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And because all the atoms that compose all of us, they come from different galaxies and star systems and stars themselves, and they have been projected and bouncing around for so long before they reach Earth. Even like from a physical perspective.
Yes.
We are composed of the universe.
Yes.
We are composition. We are just a soup.
Yeah.
So my feeling and my feeling and my experience is that every atom that kind of came together to make the me here.
Yeah.
Because we are.
Yes.
All of us.
Yes.
We were spread again.
Yes. We just changed form, but we are the whole, just changing form each time.
We changed form, and we came back to every atom came back to its original outward position in the universe.
Yes.
Through the same travel, and then I knew that the movie is gonna play again, and then the comets and then the meteoroid, they're gonna crash, and this star will explode, and then all these things will rehappen again until all these atoms end up on Earth, on this place, and I'm born, and I drink this water, which came from the molecules came from all over. So I saw that playing again and again, and the atoms are going to spread, thrown away, came back together. So it was like a million times I got this dive in of the universe, throw out, dive in,
throw out. Yes.
With nuclear power.
Yes.
With this sound.
Yes. With the sound waves.
There's a sound, like like in Buddhism there is the
Yes.
So I felt the So the in my
vibration. The vibration.
So the comes back. The is the sound of the universe when it had expanded.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was that and then that vibration, and then it brings you down. Yeah, and then smacks you into density, and then throws you and then brings you up. Yeah.
It's like an elastic band. As it contracts, as a different thing, as it expands, it's contracting and giving out these different. Mohammed, at what age did this happen to you?
I was 21, I think, or 22. So this happened, and it was very violent, but not in a bad way.
But
it was just physically violent. It's like you exploded in me. The biggest nuclear bomb that humanity could make.
Yes.
It was detonating, but also the biggest black hole of the universe.
Yes.
After the detonation, it will swallow back everything.
Yes, like the elastic band, it expands, then brings it back.
Yeah.
It's like on a trampoline, you go down and you come up.
Exactly like that. It was a trampoline of nuclear dispersion.
Yes.
And nuclear
Yes.
reconnect,
Expansion and contraction.
and contraction. Yes.
Contraction.
So it
Expand,
was very,
contract.
yeah, it was very hard to to uh,
Feel.
to feel, because my body was feeling it.
Mm,
My body was feeling that thing, and also my body had a sort of a vibration.
yes.
That
It had its own energy field. It had its own resonance. Its own
yeah, my
resonance.
body was resonating. I could
Yes.
feel the resonance, and you know, when there is resonance, it's kind of, it destroys you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so resonance kind of like
Makes you weak. Yeah.
no, it will explode you. It
Oh,
just explodes you, because
okay.
there's so much energy in every little pieces.
Yeah.
So it was like draining, and as my brain was like going, I was
Yes.
trying to look at it with the eyes, you know,
Yes.
with the human eyes still.
Yeah. You can't.
Yeah, you can't. And also I was trying to comprehend with the mind what is going on, and when I started to like, I started to get tired,
Yes.
mentally and physically.
Yes.
So I started to doubt the experience. Yeah. So when I
And
doubted the experience, it shut down.
And that's what I was going to say. And what happened when you did that? Because before, when you doubt, you did it with the bicycle wheel. You did it with your sister. You've done it now.
It
You
shuts
cut
down.
it.
Yeah,
You don't
it shut
believe.
down. Yeah, and I would say in a way it started attacking me.
Oh,
I knew it was not an attack in a bad way, but
no.
you know the movie The Matrix?
Yes.
When he
Wanted
questioned
you to
Neo.
experience.
Yeah. So in Matrix, Neo, when he was questioning after he took the pill,
Yes.
the red pill, he saw himself in the mirror, and then he started to question reality, and then he took the mirror, and
Yes.
then the mirror started that lead
Yes.
liquid.
Yes.
So I had the same. The universe said, "You want to doubt?" So my body fell, because I could feel the movement of the earth and the galaxies,
Yes.
and I could not deal with it because everything was moving.
Yes.
I was feeling the kinetic energies
Yes.
of movement. So I banged in my bed. I fell on the floor, and then the universe started to compress me physically.
Okay. My
Yeah,
gosh.
like a big invisible machine, and it was
Yes.
flattening me into a single layer of atoms.
Okay.
It was like just
Yes.
grinding me, as if my blood and my body was becoming lead, and becoming heavy, and like I was sticking.
It was changing form.
It was changing form, and I was becoming a heavy single layer of
Yes.
lead.
It was showing you that you think you're this, but you're
Yeah,
also this.
I think
And
so.
you
I
are
think it was
anything. You can be
yeah,
anything and everything. There are no restrictions. We place restrictions on ourselves because when we start to doubt, and this is what it's all about, when we're shown things and we start to doubt, we're saying this cannot be. And because of the
exactly.
powers that we are, because we say it cannot be, then it starts to, so it's a tag between showing you what you are and what you say you're not. But you're not that, you are this, but you are
Exactly. Yeah.
doubting yourself. So you're saying you're not, but you are. So this tag.
It was that interaction. So like you said, like you're
Yes,
saying, it was kind of teaching me a lesson.
yes,
That's what it was teaching me. So when I saw that I was losing my body
yes,
was disappearing into this flatness, heaviness,
yes.
and with my human brain,
Hmm.
when it reached here, so
Yes,
when it consumed half of my body, I didn't think that I was dead. Actually, if something consumes half of your body, you're already dead.
yes,
But I didn't. Just the brain. I was thinking the way I was wired in education
yes,
was,
yes,
if the
yes,
heart stops, I will die.
yes,
So I discounted the whole body that disappeared. But in my mind, I was thinking, if this phenomena reach my heart will stop beating. Then no oxygen will reach my brain. Then I will have a clinical death.
yes,
Yeah. So
yes,
I said, oh damn it! So it's finished. I think maybe this is my time. It's just I have to accept death.
yes,
So when it was really nearing my heart, and I had no power, no sort of absolute zero control,
yes,
then I made peace with myself, and I thought, God, if this is the plan, and maybe this is my time, I'm gonna die. I did my shahada, like we in Islam, you say that there is only one God, and God is the most powerful, and so on.
yes,
And I did my shahada to die. That's
Yes.
it. I'm ready. Yeah. So when I relinquished and trying to understand and relinquish to life, and then that force stopped just before my heart,
Okay.
and then started to go back down and recomposing my body. So it
So
recomposed.
so in this case, because what it's trying to show you that we have control over so much. So when it came to that, and you did your shahada, and you said no, it was as though you were saying no. This is not going to happen. You sent it back.
So that's one possibility, but I think later on how I understood it is that what was blocking me from the realm and the connection was me, the me,
Yes.
the ego, the who you are.
Mm-hmm.
It wanted me to abandon myself. And in the human experience, abandoning yourself is when you just accept death.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes,
So
because you
that was
let everything go.
you
You
let
just,
go and say, okay, I accept death.
mhm,
Let me die.
yeah.
Yeah. Even though, and also that was the moment when I accepted death, where also I accepted to control and stop my thinking, my brain thinking.
Mhm.
Like, I don't need to understand all this stuff and doubt it. Sometimes maybe just there's no way to understand it, and you just have to live it.
So let me just reiterate. So actually, when you let go and you
Yeah.
just gave up, is that when it started to go?
Yes. That's
Ah,
what it,
now I
that's what I
understand.
understand it wanted, because
It
I was
wanted
simply
you to let go
to let go everything,
and not
property, the
fear.
sense of yeah, not fear, the sense of belonging, the emotions. Just let go of
Oh,
everything. It's not yours anyway. In a way.
yes. No,
Uh,
this is wonderful. So it was at that time you let go that it retracted back.
yeah.
It went back
So
down.
it retracted back, and then it reconstructed my body. So I'm just
Yes.
speaking in human words.
Yes.
Not,
Yes.
yeah. And after that, it reconstructed my body, and then
Yes.
that force like went back into wherever it came from. It came
Yes.
from nowhere. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I was swallowed back into the realm.
Ah.
And then like I was like lifted again. Yeah. So
And this was all in that one. It wasn't done in sections. This was happening all at that one time.
this was a continuous
Yes.
event.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's very hard to qualify in human terms because it had no time, no space, no location, no
Yes.
reference that I could have as a human knowledge. So I cannot tell you if it lasted 1 second or a million year, but
Okay.
it's both at the same time.
And this
And
is
even
you were around 21.
yeah, 21. And also I even knew that it happened, but it did not happen. And it's not a problem. It was no more a paradox for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been a paradox before I accepted death.
Okay.
That you cannot say that something happened and has not yet happened or will never happen. You cannot say these two things at the same time because of the
It,
duality.
it is that it is. It is as
Yes,
it is.
yeah. So that's exactly how I started to take it. Is whatever it is, that's what it is.
Mm,
Let it be.
let it be.
Yeah. And then I was like lifted or thrown back into some sort of realm um, where now um, I don't know what's the best allegory, but where you are observed and you are observing every form of life in the universe.
So
Um,
in that same in that same situation and time, you were shown and you went through so much, and now this stage is where they will show you another part of what is going on
yeah.
and what we're capable of. My
So it was like a two-stage journey. The
yes,
first journey was very atomic.
yes,
Like it was an atomic presentation of the universe without the beings,
yes,
without the life forms.
yes,
I mean, only with the physical life forms that I could comprehend. And then
yes,
the second travel, it was
yes,
the same realm,
yes,
but now I could discern
yes,
that some forms of life are everywhere, like it's full.
In
It's
fact,
full of life.
everything is full of life. It
Exactly,
just
yeah.
changes its form. It changes its form, but everywhere is life.
It's life, and then there is a life behind the life, and behind that life, and there's another life, and there's another life, and then
Layers
you know,
deeper,
I was
deeper.
trying to poke at a form of life, and then it would multiply like in infinity.
Yes. Yes.
It's very weird.
Yes.
But so then here I understood that we are all light.
Yes.
Because every form of being was a refraction of the same light.
Yes.
And me also, I was like propagating as a form of light, and I was being other lights were bouncing on me.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh gosh.
so we were reflecting like a mirror.
Yes.
There was a game of reflection of the same light that is going into different direction and reflecting and coming back. So I felt like in a zoo. It was like I am being presented as an animal
Yes.
to some humans, some more
Yeah.
intelligent things.
Yes.
I was presented as like a monkey or like a crocodile or something.
Yeah.
And they behave. My feeling is that they behave like little kids. They were like little kids, these beings.
Yes.
And they were like, oh, what is this form of life? Is so cute.
So they were observing you.
They were observing me without
You
there's
changed
no
your-
eyes. They don't have eyes. I don't have my eyes. But I could feel, you know, when you
You are
feel
being
somebody's looking
observed.
at you? Yeah. I could feel many things observing me, and I could feel the curiosity.
Yes.
The same curiosity that I had when I was looking for something else.
This is what I was thinking. The same curiosity you had in looking and searching and wanting to know is the same. So as we are, so is everything else.
Yeah. And I
We're
could
just
feel
parts.
we are part of them, and they are part. So
Part
I
of
could
us.
feel it was genuine, and it was like the soul of a kid. They were
Yes.
all like children, like some sort of genuine, innocent, super powerful beings.
Yes.
Because I could still feel that, you know, that
The vibration, that
the
energy.
vibration. Yeah,
Yes.
the vibration. So I could still feel it, and if I draw it here, compared to the human understanding, it's
Yes.
like, let's say this is my height in human.
Mhm.
If that being would become a human, he
Mhm.
will be probably the size of a building
My gosh.
in
Yes.
terms of differences of power.
Yes.
Yeah. So I could feel this.
More
This thing,
advanced.
sorry.
More advanced.
Yeah, more deep, more
Deeper.
more.
You see, it's deeper and probably been around longer. It's more evolved. Probably more evolved that could.
Yeah,
Each one is
it's hard
different.
to explain. No, because they're not. I didn't feel they are older or younger than me, because we are all the same age in a way.
Okay.
We are all we are created and we end at the same time. We and the other beings.
Yes.
So it was not time related. It was just
Mhm.
vibrational.
Yes.
Yeah. So I felt that I was paraded
Mhm.
to the universe, and the universe was paraded to me
Okay.
at the same
Mohammed,
time.
this is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
That's the best word that we can
Yeah.
find. But it was like a parade, a
A
presentation.
parade. You were paraded to them
Parade.
and they were paraded to you, and everybody
Uh-huh.
was looking at each other and seeing how it is and explaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in their look, you know, when I try to explain it, and there was another power that is much bigger than everything.
Power beyond that power.
Yeah. So me and these other very powerful things, we were like a certain level of energy, but there was something vibrating like in the back of my head,
Okay.
or in the back of all of us, as there was something like covering us, like
Okay.
another force,
Okay.
a much more powerful force, but invisible and not manifesting directly. So the way that I realized that there was that force is that when I was paraded,
Mm-hmm.
I could feel that those beings were looking at me and then looking somehow up, in the human way.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're looking at me and then they're looking up and then they submit.
Fascinating.
Like a big general,
Yes.
that is standing behind me,
You something
or not immediately behind me, but
yes.
like they would realize that
Going deeper
there
into
is a high,
yeah.
yeah. So every time that we had this interaction and they started to look at me, and then they kind of look somewhere else in another dimension,
Mm-hmm.
and they become more humble and they submit, and like there's a higher power.
Power pile.
Yeah.
Mohammed, this is very deep. Okay, I'm going to ask you to move on from that because
Yes.
there is so much. It is like
It is an infinity
a
of
lot.
things there.
Okay,
Yeah.
this happened to you when you were 21.
Yes, 21.
Let's move on probably to when you're 30 or older. How did you take all these experiences and use them in your life as an older person? And then how did you take that to use it in your present day business to help you to be who you are today and be the person you are today?
Yeah, so in that interaction,
Yes.
and in all that experience, we could say I got my mission.
Okay.
Yeah, I was presented with I mean, it's an intuition.
Yes.
I was not, there was no word that was spoken to me.
No.
There was no discernible shape of
Yes.
any being that was presented to me. I
But
didn't see anything.
Yes.
I could feel, but it was, I don't think we experience it as human, but it was experiencing the pitch black,
yes,
pitch darkness, pitch super black.
Yes.
That's what I experienced. So I could see nothing. There was nothing, but there was everything at the same time.
Yes.
And also I understood that light is actually pitch black. It's only with our eyes that we think that it's yellow or white.
It is what we create and how we think of it that we create it.
We see it as a bright light and it kind of overwhelms our eyes, but in the realm it's just pitch black.
And how did this affect you in your later life?
So I got my mission. I got an understanding that now I have to go back into being Mohammed, but now you take it not as a given, and you build things for yourself, but you go and you're gonna achieve an objective in this life with this avatar.
Yes.
And you go back and through by virtue of responsibility,
yes,
you're gonna live your life.
Okay.
Because when our first instinctive life, when we come as humans, we do things for ourselves.
Yes.
And we take everything granted and we just want to build ourselves. So now that's where I switched completely, and my mission was to do business, to revitalize commerce among humans and the universe, because commerce is not only between us, but between the bacteria and the minerals and the stars. And the humans, we play a role in the galactic marketplace. Because
how we perceive it.
And also how we exchange with it, and how we all together, the beings and the elements, we always look for a position of balance.
Yes.
So I was to learn and do commerce in a fair way, a just way, but a commercial way, to promote exchanges, like chemical exchanges. Commercial exchanges for me is the same. Like what happens at the atomic level, at the molecular level, or at the human behavior level, it's commercial exchange, because energy moves from one party to another for a purpose. So that's how I see commerce, and that's how I interpreted commerce. And then that was my mission. Now go and do business with technologies, with creating value, exchanging value among humans, and get the humans to do commerce in the proper way that benefits the universe, so that the universe can benefit mankind.
This is music to our ears. To do it in the proper way, to do it in an ethical way, to do it in a way that we all will benefit, to see it as it is, and to use it wisely so that we can all benefit from it and in exchange.
Exactly. So that we can be part of the commercial
Part of it.
transactions of the universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of the universe.
Of the
Not
universe,
just
yeah.
not just limited to our world, but our world is part of the whole. So everything we do has an effect on the whole.
Exactly. And also, so it's hard to say, but now we have references to connect to it. So what we do as a species of mankind,
yes,
impacts the fabric of the dimensions of higher beings.
yes,
So of course they are worried about what we
yes,
do.
yes. We have an impact.
We have a dramatic impact. We have a dramatic impact as an. It's not even about intelligence, but it's almost like a virus, a small virus, which is stupid cell, could kill all of humanity. So are we to higher beings.
Yes. No.
When we go nonsense, we can destroy the universe. Yeah.
This has been said for those of us who do follow the spiritual side, and we're looking deeper, and we understand this because it's come to light in the last 15 years that there is an energy of force, beings beyond our galaxy, beyond our world, who are looking and who have been in contact to try and help us. And they are scared that because of how we treat this world and one another, if we destroy it, it affects them as well. And what you went through, showing you that we are part of everything and there is an impact, but we're not aware, and we need to be made aware.
Exactly. Yes,
and through what you've gone through, you have a big mission, Mohammed, a very big mission.
Yeah, it's as big as it is simple, actually. You know?
Yes.
And also,
true.
Sorry.
Yes, you're right. It is big, but it is simple. But simple and yet can be difficult because you are reaching out to everybody, as many as you can, to show us the way how to use that technology.
Exactly. And also, like, so you get a mission. So my understanding is that the mission has an objective to reach, and an objective to avoid. You see what I mean?
Yes.
You get the two at the same time.
Yes. So to show us the objective, which direction to go in and which direction not to go in.
Exactly. Yeah. So the direction to go to is doing commerce in an honest way, without any form of deception.
Yes.
Like, I have an added value, and when I present it to Zenzi and she's going to pay me, she will get that added value, and I will get an added value that just money is a medium, but it's an added value that you created and you got paid for it, and that energy is now transferred to me in terms of accounting of the universe through my bank account and your bank account or whatever. But we are exchanging value for value in a mutually agreed way. So that's how we are supposed to do commerce. And then what we need to avoid is basically what has been forbidden by all the books, ancient books, which is usury.
To use one another. It's to bring happiness.
Usury as in interest rates and monetary deception.
Okay.
USURY in English, which is very hard. Yeah, usury, which is very hard in our modern time to differentiate with commerce. Look alike.
Yes.
Commerce and usury, they look alike.
Greed.
Yeah, it brings greed. It turns the human into vampires. If I try to.
Greed.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it in a way of helping, we then just take and suck for the individual good, rather than sharing and as you say, I I come to you for something, I pay you, we share, and we all are gaining from it, and we all can enjoy from it and live in a way that we all can be happy, not just
That's right.
one sucking everything, getting everything,
Exactly.
and sucking dry everybody else who's now struggling. Yeah, it's good to be
That's
fair and
exactly.
honest.
Yeah, so that was my understanding, that this is the most destructive trend of mankind. It's not our nuclear
Yes.
weapons.
Materialistic
It's
world.
it's this usury practice that turns us into monsters, and then we are ready to destroy the universe for our own greed.
Yes, for the own greed of the individual or the few, the minor
The
few.
individual or small group, a small group of
Yes,
individuals that become like gods. They want to become like
yes,
gods.
yes. And not realizing we are all part of the whole and we're all equal.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're there to share with one another and help one another and complement one another
Indeed.
and make
At
each
all
other
levels.
happy at all levels. At all levels, because that is what you experience, that 21, that imploding and going in and exploding and being one and going through. It was at all different levels we all are a part of. And then when you
Yeah.
went on to feel this other energy, and they were looking at you and you were looking at them, and although they were equal, they could have been bigger or whatever, and yet we are all there to help, and we go into different dimensions and different sections, and we're all part of that. And when one destroys or goes wrong, it affects the others. So there has to be balance.
That's right. Yeah, it's one fabric. It's like, I would say it's one fabric of being.
Yes. Through
Something
you,
like this.
through you, we are able to see so much and understand so much. You were shown so much, Mohammed, and I am so grateful for having this conversation with you, that you've been able to share this, and hence with your business in silicone, with the Silicone Awakening, and the business that you have with the automation software. Technology is here and we cannot avoid it, and it's not something we should fear if we use it wisely. But again,
Yeah.
it's like anything else. If we don't use it wisely, it's destructive.
It is, yeah. It can.
And it's down to us.
Yes,
And you
yes, yes.
it showed you, because when you were thinking positive, like with the bicycle, it was fine. You were accepting it. And when you said, "Oh no, this can't be," because of your thoughts, you influenced. And with your
Indeed.
sister as well.
Yeah.
And with your body, when you went into that zone and you had to submit, and then it was there to show you.
Yes, yes. It's
Mohammed,
all. It just tells. Yeah. It was all. Sorry, it's cutting off. But
yes,
you
no,
summarize it very well.
yes, Mohammed, I am. I've got so much out of this, and we can go on and on and on. What I want you to speak briefly now is about your book that's coming out, Silicone Awakening. If you can just briefly and let us know when it's coming out.
Yes. So I put it on Kindle, on Amazon Kindle for now, with September as the release date, and hopefully there is some demand, because I'm lazy to write it. But Silicon Awakening is kind of also part of my obligation to share the knowledge that I had, at least my perspective of it. And I think it's one of the easiest way to look at technology, is that it's a bridge between us and the divine realm, or the other reality. And technologies allows our human brain to allow things that are naturally occurring in the realm, but not allowed in the human psyche. So these technologies, they allow us to accept, hey, yes, you can communicate even though there is a big distance of space. I can talk to you 8,000 miles away instantly, But if we didn't have
Yes.
technology, internet, and so on, they will call us
Yes.
heretics 200 years ago.
Mm.
So that's how I see technology. It's a bridge. It's a bridge for us to ascend and to awaken, and it's a bridge for the other realms to interact with us in a so it's like the realm was communicating with us in a subtle manner.
Yes.
But as we are getting technology, it goes from
Yes.
subtle to more consciously
Yes.
manifesting, because our brain starts to be more and more able to process it through technology.
Yes. And to understand
That's
it, and to accept it,
yes,
and to accept it. As you know, you
yes.
went through, you had to accept, let go and accept. Mohammed, thank you so much. I have really thoroughly enjoyed this podcast, and I know those who are listening to it are going to enjoy it as well. I look forward to your book. And again, thank you so much. You've really made me understand more. Oh, you've made me understand so much more. And I think also for those of us who are facing technology today, and so many things have happened that we see in a negative light, and we see it as a form of control, because there are those who would use it for control. But your awakening, your experience has shown us that, again, once used in a proper way, is so beneficial, and it's been given to us and shared with us for us to use it in a proper way. And we really have to waken up to monitor those and be aware of those who would not use it in the way they're supposed to use it, and that powers beyond are not there to bring us down, but they are there to help us, because we're part of the balance. And so people shouldn't be afraid when they start hearing about other beings from other galaxies trying to connect with us. It's not necessary to harm us, to hinder us. It's to help us. So we have to be open.
Indeed.
Mohammed, thank you. And I hope those who have watched this get a lot from it. And please comment, because I know we could have gone on further, but let's leave it there for another time, and to say thank you once again, and good luck with your book.
Thank you very much, Zanzi. You have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.